this, that for every great evil they do to other countries in our name, they have to abort so many of us. And they talk about this. They talk about balance. They have to kill so many of us and then damage so many of us with the vaccines and the GMO because they want to kill all these other people. They want to kill us too. And the globalists do all these weird rituals at Skull and Bones of Bohemian Grove. I've infiltrated it. I've seen it myself. And I've seen the footage ABC News got at Bohemian Grove or at, I got the Bohemian Grove footage at Skull and Bones. They take this very serious. These are weird Faustian rites where they transmute all of the bad they've done. They go, we know, the universe is coming after us for all the bad things we've done. So we're going to put it onto this child we're going to burn. And those world leaders around me in that crowd watching it were more religiously focused than Baptist churches I've been in. I mean, they were focused in vicious, power-sucking enjoyment. Teeth grinding, just for like an hour and a half. Just, I mean, just, And again, the real ritual went on when they brought the casket on the back of this wagon with these horses drawing it over to these big billowing, because I saw them during the day, black curtains. And for about 10 minutes, something went on over there. Then they bring the effigy of a child out, have a boatman choron, bring it across in front of the big idol, and then burn it, and it screams in pain and all this. And but it's care, it's dull care, it's their conscience. It's the bad they've done. It's the cares of the world. It's all the bad they've done coming back on them. And then by the end, they have a voodoo marching band, a New Orleans style stuff go on. They have druidic priests and all that earlier. But at the end, it's, fireworks. And, yeah, wasn't that nice. But early on, it's from the ages of Tyre and the rending of the fortresses. May the spirits now arise and join us here. The old men are, I mean, that's who they are. And they just love, when they go to a mall or something, it's just to see people with their, spots all over their skin. And they see a child with their hair falling out, dying of cancer. They get a little enjoyment look on their face, little satisfaction. So much satisfaction in it all. And the satisfaction just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. The rending of everything good, the mutilating of everything strong, the pulling down of everything healthy and good, and just the black armies of death spreading out across the globe. The burning villages, the murdered children, the skin falling off their flesh, writhing in pain, the troops dying slowly of DU poisoning, sucking in the death. The globalists love that. Guard their opium, kill and slaughter whole villages, and then come back and die excruciating, horribly painful deaths, and have children with all sorts of birth defects from all the DU in your body. They love it. They absolutely, totally, and completely enjoy it. Sounds dark, doesn't it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen the enemy. I have studied them. I know their heart. People that are into evil think that those of us that are truly good, doesn't mean I'm a good person, doesn't mean I'm not full of the flesh, doesn't mean I don't have my own problems and my own struggles. But I, in my heart, love what is good, and I am not a person who lives in fear. And I know the creator of the universe knows me, as knows the entire creation. And I am not part of these people. I make the spiritual decision to not be part of evil. And that doesn't mean I'm on some high horse and follow all the Pharisaical rules. Again, the system is very good at telling you evil is admiring a woman. Or, and I'm not even saying in the final equation, if you're betrothed, obviously that is bad because then it hurts children. But the idea that life, the lover of life, is not the sinner. It's very important to understand that. It's the haters of life. Those that kill, steal, and destroy. That's evil. That's sin. War is sin. When it is started. Period. Offensive war is absolute, pure, distilled evil. And this nation has this pride in offensive war. And I see men that get a gleam in their eye like the F-16s and the drones, the Predators, the Reapers, and the black uniforms. Oh, the power. Oh, you're so powerful. Oh, see, they worship the dark flame of evil. They worship the majesty of death. I say there's no majesty in it all. The only majesty in death is when you've laid down your life for innocence. That's the only majesty in death. But death wantonly spilled out against life for the sake of death is pathetic. In fact, radio listeners, and I'll get to the news, I will draw an image of the devil. I think I should start, because images are powerful. You know, the government wants to be these big marble buildings and Air Force One and Secret Service guys with aggressive James Bond stances and the president strutting and everything's a big act and, oh, the government's invincible and huge and beautiful and just unstoppable. It's all a hoax and a fraud. And the culture builds up the devil as this incredibly powerful entity. The devil is a crazed-eyed creature that looks about like a concentration camp victim with pus dripping out of its little vampiric mouth. Let me draw an image of the devil here for you. That's some pus dripping out the eye. This is what the devil looks like. And that's why the devil wants to make you spiritually look like that as well. That's why the devil wants to pull everything down and tell you that what is good is bad and what is bad is good, that black is white, that up is down, that wrong is right. All right, let me just give you the news here. This story is viral. KJCT. Passengers could be asked to give drink samples to TSA. The TSA would not say why they're testing for or why they're doing it, but travelers say they have a right to know. Okay, Watson saw this story, wrote about it. It went viral at that point today, but my issue here with this is that I thought long and hard when I saw this morning, because we've talked about this. This has been going on at least 3 years. At Austin Bergstrom and other airports, Atlanta, also at Liberty, there in New Jersey, I have seen them, and I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm sure there's footage of it out there. They have carts now at the gate. You've already gone through the checkpoint, and they've got people now at the actual gate bugging their eyes out at you with their hands behind their back like they're intimidating you. That's what it's all about. They admit that in their internal memos to, quote, be imperial, overlording. It's to get you perping. It's to train non-criminal classes of people that you're criminals. It's to induct you into bureaucrats putting their hands on you. This is the breaking. Just like a pedophile, touches a child to test. They're just hiking their leg on you and marking you as their whore. They are your pimp. They are your master now. They are breaking you. They are bringing you on the journey to total serfdom, slavery, servitude, chattel, bond slaves. They're teaching you to fear them. And it's freaking everybody out because I guess they're expanding it everywhere. But I've seen it. I've seen it almost every time I fly, pushing around carts, testing for things. And I've seen at Austin Bergstrom, this had to be like 2 years ago. I was sitting there eating barbecue before I got on the plane, Salt Lick barbecue, and they were coming along with a cart, and they came over to a woman. Wolves are attracted to people that they think are weak. A woman with children, and asked for her water. And she looked at him and she pointed. She was about 30 feet away, but I could watch what she was saying, couldn't really hear it all. And she was pointing, going, I bought it here. I've already gone through the checkpoint. And they bowed up and they said, give it to me. And And then they decided, you know what? Just take a drink. And so she took a drink. And I've watched other people get real apologetic. I've watched them with 2 ounces of something, which is they're allowed to take on, scream at them in Billings. This is their religion. And so now people are starting to wake up to what's happening. But TSA demands bizarre new power to test drinks purchased in airports. I mean, I can open the phones up right now and take unlimited calls. You've all seen it. Business travelers, you've seen it. I fly out of Austin. I fly out anywhere now. There's a guy at the gate out there checking things as you're lined up, or right at the fuselage. As you go down the gangway out, there'll be a person bugging their eyes out at you. And so you can't bring your own drinks through. So you go through and you go, you want a sandwich, you want a bottle of water. You get it. You're about to make a 6-hour flight or whatever the case is, 4-hour flight. And they come over. And I've also seen them once in a food court. This was in Atlanta. And there were people, it was like a Burger King and McDonald's. I honestly don't remember which which company it was. The point is, it was a paper cup with the top. And they walked over and were talking to people and demanding a sample to test it. The people were going, what? It's about, hey, everything you do is wrong. Everything you do is criminal. And the more obscene, the more ridiculous, the better. Why do you think in the Marine Corps, when you're going through drill camp, they make you do all sorts of weird things? You've seen in Full Metal Jacket where they have to do weird things. This is my rifle. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun. That actually, at least in the past, went on. Weird sexual stuff and things. It's about, if I say jump, you say, how high? Yes, a boss. And if you don't say it, I'm going to knock you upside your head with this bullwhip. How does that sound? You understand that. And it's all cult programming. After you've been broken down, then you're told you're no longer worm garbage. You're now, you step and fetch it to TSA, they're going to treat you nice. Now, when we come back, liberty lovers are the main terrorists. All right, we're back live. I was going to get into Homeland Security report lists Liberty lovers as terrorists. We'll get into that with Joe Farah, amongst other things. But Rob Dew, I saw Rob Dew down by the water cooler, and he said, oh, yeah, you have us fly a lot to do interviews. We see that all the time. Well, next time, get footage of it, because all the time, I saw the new zombie rounds they're selling. Like 3 months ago, all it is super double-aught buck, basically military-type buckshot. It does have a bigger kick when you pull the trigger. And I thought, man, that's a good news article. I bought some and to have the guys do it. And a month later, it was big national news. So we got to go with our instincts, not just to get big national news, but what's important. Right. That's probably why I never did anything with the zombie rounds. Why is that really important? Well, it shows how they're getting into this whole zombie culture and how what they program, people start to behave like.
They're making a zombie theme park in Detroit right now.
Exactly. And that was my next point. I meant to cover that on Monday. But on this TSA front, it's about mindlessly doing what they say. They now even do searches at the gate. Why did I never videotape that? Because that's never been on the news. Why? I mean, they do swabbing, but you have seen what I'm talking about, but you saw something I haven't seen where people beg to prove they're minions. Right. And see, that's the behavior they're looking for. Stockholm Syndrome. Tell folks what you saw.
It was literally bizarre. Waiting in line to get in is a Southwest Airlines flight, and they had